Imagine walking into a dream made of plaster and gold, a city so bright it blinded eyes used to coal smoke and gaslight. Welcome to Chicago, 1893. This was the world's Columbian. Exposition, the White City. But behind the temporary palaces of the fair lay the Black City, the birthplace of the skyscraper. How did a city that burned to the ground just 20 years earlier build the most advanced structures on Earth? What was it like to enter the world's first department stores? Let's take a tour of 1893. Our journey begins at the Court of Honor. These structures here are neoclassical masterpieces, designed to look like solid marble, though they are made of staff, a mix of plaster and hemp. Look at the administration building. Its massive golden dome rises 275 feet, covered in real gold leaf that shimmers. Under the new wonder of the age, the electric light bulb. The columns are Corinthian, massive and fluted, supporting pediments filled with intricate sculptures of Greek gods and symbols of American progress. We move toward the Manufactures and Liberal Arts Building. It is the largest structure in the world. Inside, the steel trusses span 385 feet, an engineering miracle of the 19th century. The exterior is painted a brilliant, uniform white. This is why they call it the White City. It feels like ancient Rome has been reborn on the shores of Lake Michigan. Now let's leave the fairgrounds and enter the Loop, the heart of the real Chicago. Here, the buildings are not made of plaster, they are made of steel and ego. Behold, the Monadnock Building. It is a transition point in history. The north half is the tallest load-bearing masonry building ever constructed. The walls at the base are 6 feet thick. Look at the dark, purple-brown brick and the way the corners curve elegantly upward. It has no ornaments, only pure, massive form. Right next to it, we see the future, the Reliance Building. This is the Chicago School of Architecture at its peak. The walls are not holding the building up, a steel skeleton is. This allows for massive Chicago windows, a large fixed pane flanked by 2 smaller movable ones. The facade is covered in white glazed terracotta. It looks light, almost like it's floating. This is the ancestor of every glass skyscraper you see today. Let's walk into a 1893 commerce hub, Marshall Field & Company. This is not just a shop. It is a palace of consumption. The entrance features massive granite arches. Inside, the air is filled with the scent of imported silks and roasted coffee. Look up at the Tiffany glass mosaic dome in the ceiling. Millions of pieces of iridescent glass bathing the shoppers in a heavenly, colorful light. The counters are made of polished mahogany. Clerks, in formal attire, use brass pneumatic tubes to send cash and receipts. Flying through the walls to the counting room. Outside, the streets are a grid of granite blocks. The the elevated railroad is already rumbling overhead on iron trestles, showering sparks onto the horses below. Let's visit a wealthy residence on Prairie Avenue. This is the Millionaire's Row. The Glessner House stands out. It looks like a fortress of rusticated granite. The windows are small on the street side for privacy, but open into a beautiful hidden courtyard. Inside, the woodwork is heavy oak. The fireplaces are framed in hand-painted tiles. It is a mix of Victorian heaviness and the rising arts and crafts movement. Contrast this with the shotgun-style workers' cottages near the factories. Narrow, wooden structures with steep, gabled roofs, built close together to house the army of laborers. Back in the business district, we pass the Rookery Building. The exterior is heavy, dark stone with intricate carvings that look like lace. But step inside the light court. Frank Lloyd Wright would later remodel this. But even in 1893, the white marble and gold leaf make the lobby feel like a jewelry box. The elevators are the Ferris wheels of the office world. Open iron cages that zip up and down, operated by men in white gloves. Let's look at the businesses. The banks are designed like Greek temples to project stability, massive granite stairs, and heavy bronze doors. That take from men to Polish? The Union Stockyards. This is the engine of Chicago, a city within a city made of timber pens, brick slaughterhouses, and a labyrinth of overhead walkways. The smell here is unavoidable. Salt, blood, and coal. The structures are purely functional, a brutal contrast to the beauty of the White City. We pass the saloon. The storefront has a wide glass window and a swinging wooden door. Inside, the bar is 50 feet of solid brass and cherry wood. The flooring is often sawdust to soak up the spills. Above the bar, a massive mirror reflects the gas lamps and the tired faces of the city's workers. Let's head back to the fair to see the transportation building. It breaks the White City rule. It is painted in vibrant reds, golds, and blues. The golden door is its centerpiece, a series of concentric arches, covered in gold leaf and intricate carvings of leaves and vines. This structure shows the genius of Louis Sullivan. Form follows function. It is a celebration of the machine age through the lens of art. Notice the Ferris wheel in the distance, the first of its kind. 2 massive steel towers supporting a wheel 250 feet in diameter. The cars are the size of buses, with velvet seats and large windows. It is the ultimate structural statement of 1893. The plumbing of 1893 is a marvel. Chicago had to lift its entire city height decades earlier. The new sewers are giant brick tunnels beneath our feet. Street lighting is transitioning. We see the old gas lamps with their soft, flickering yellow light next to the harsh, brilliant arc lamps of the fair. The auditorium building is a titan. It is a hotel, an office, and a theater all in one. It is the heaviest building in the city, sinking into the soft Chicago clay. The walls are a massive load-bearing stone, but the interior is a wonderland of golden arches and thousands of recessed electric lights. Ultra-realistic AI captures the texture of the soot on the red brick, the way the mud of the streets sticks to the carriage wheels. We see the contrast of the staff palaces at the Fair Temporary and Faritovers, the steel-framed skyscrapers designed to last centuries. The signage of 1893, hand-painted gold leaf on glass windows. Giant wooden carvings of boots or teeth hanging above the shops to guide the illiterate. The Palace of Fine Arts, the only building at the fair built with a brick substructure to protect the art from fire. Today, it is the Museum of Science and Industry. Look at the limestone exterior. The caryatid statues of women acting as columns, holding up the weight of the roof with eternal grace. In the residential districts, we see the Chicago Greystone, semi-detached houses made of Bedford limestone, featuring bay windows to catch the light. The roofs are flat or feature small mansard curves, decorated with iron cresting that looks like frozen lightning. Commerce in 1893 is personal. We see the Iceman delivering blocks of frozen lake water to wooden ice boxes in the back of the houses. The Board of Trade, a cathedral of capitalism with a clock tower that dominates the skyline. Looking down on the chaos of the grain pits, everything is built on a grand scale. Chicago in 1893 was trying to prove it was the equal of London or Paris. The AI captures the steam rising from the vents in the street. The Puffing Billy's early steam tractors moving heavy loads of iron. We see the hotel lobbies, potted palms, marble floors, and the ticker tape machine spitting out the latest prices from the New York Exchange. The bridges over the Chicago River. Iron bascule bridges that swing or lift to let the tall masts of sailing ships pass through the city's heart. 1893 was the year of the world's Parliament of Religions. Structures like the Art Institute, then the Hall of Columbus, hosted the world's thinkers. The Art Institute is a Roman palace of emerald green bronze and limestone, guarded by two massive bronze lions that still stand today. The detail in the brickwork is staggering. Roman bricks longer and thinner than standard ones create a sense of horizontal speed in the buildings. As night falls, the White City transforms. 100,000 light bulbs outline the buildings, reflecting in the lagoons. It is the first time humanity has seen a city of light. But the tour must end. By 1894, most of the White City would be destroyed by fire, leaving only the steel skyscrapers of the Loop. Chicago, 1893, was a flash of lightning, a moment where the ancient and the modern collided in a cloud of plaster and steel. It was the city that taught the world how to reach for the sky. We see the blueprint of the modern world being drawn in the mud of the lakefront. The structures of 1893 weren't just buildings. They were the DNA of the 20th century. From the mahogany counters of the shops to the steel skeletons of the towers, Chicago was the future. This was the White City. This was the Black City. This was Chicago. If you could walk into any building from 1893, which would it be? Like and subscribe. We explore the world's greatest structures every week. Stay curious.